Hello everybody and welcome to your Xing Tian support guide. We're going to be starting off of course with our benevolence here. Just a standard start with our tier 1 boots, a nice chalice of healing, our hand of the gods, and for our active we're going to get that blink so we can be ready to whirly twirly our way into the enemy team. Now, Xing Tian is actually pretty decent right now. He seems to be very hit and miss. He actually pops up more in like very high level play than anywhere else. I do not personally think that Xing Tian is a top support right now, but he does get dabbled in at the higher levels of gameplay. So at level 1, we are going to go ahead and grab our Furious Roar. This is going to be our main form of a wave clear on Xing Tian. And it's also going to be nice for stopping the enemy from wave clearing a little bit. We've got this part of this, which is the damage reduction. So it's going to be very efficient to use against the enemy hunters. Because it does reduce that damage, which is fantastic, specifically those basic attacks. So preferably, we would like to use the Xing Tian 1, like on the archers and the enemy ADC at the same time. That's really the best case scenario here. Now, I am not quite level 2 yet. My hunter is going to be level 2 because of that benevolence. If I can get level 2 right here, I actually might go super aggressive. If I got level 2, I'm going to grab my 2. I'm going to call for the attack. I'm going to look for a blink in on this. And I'm going to go right for this Emoja all the way back here. Look at that. Going to be able to force the Emoja beads. I'm going to try to body block a Hachi. We're going to be able to force the Hachi beads as well. 2 times beads for value right there. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that you get the 2 at level 2. Chances are you're probably gonna need the 3. That is your leap, that is your getaway skill. But in this particular scenario, we had the ability to go very aggressive, and we got the force beads on the support and the hunter, so that's gonna be a very valuable play for us. So we're just gonna get our movement speed ability at level 3. Xing Tian, not a super strong laning phase support. More so looking for those team fights with him. Does have good initiation and peeling capabilities. He can do both. His 2 has that knock up root. His 3 gives him pretty good distance that he can cover, so he can get to the front line and the back line. And then of course you got the minus damage autos from your 1. And your big displacement with your ultimate. Put everybody in that washing machine. So I'm going to try to go put some pressure on some Hachi right now. I want to make sure we win this wave clear so that we can go look at their purple. My Medusa might actually get kind of caught out on the way going in there. Looks like he's going to, so I'm going to try to come over and peel for him. I thought that this might happen, so I had to go back and continue to look at him. Still going to be able to get good poke off, though. Make sure you don't abandon your hunter on the way into the purple buff if you're the first one going in. Probably going to be safer for us at this point just to go do our own purple because we could be getting rotated on. So for your official level order on Xing Tian, you don't actually have to level up the ultimate if you don't want to after the first point for a hot minute, and that is because it's not actually going to increase anything other than the damage. Now some people do like the damage that you get from this ability, and people want to level it up. Personally though, I don't think it is exactly necessary. I'm kind of just trying to bait this Merlin right now until my team comes over. So they are diving like crazy right now. So I'm actually going to go ahead and try to get towards the Thanatos. I think he's already used his scythe, so that 1 should be able to finish that kill. And they really wanted our Medusa right there. So oftentimes on Xing Tian, I will only get 1 point in the ulti, especially in a support-like scenario. If you're like solo lane or something, you might want the extra damage output on this ability, so there's nothing wrong with that. We're, of course, going to get our reinforced shoes, as you always do, on your support. And now that I'm level 5, got my boots, I'm going to start rotating around the map, trying to get myself to mid and keeping an eye on our blue timer, which is hopefully also the enemy's blue timer. The solo lane style invades from support's quite strong right now.
Enemy missing left.
Looks like their red buff actually might be out, so I'd love to go take a gander at that with my team, if at all possible. So I'm gonna get a deep ward over here in top left, and then another one up by their tier 2 section. So for our level order then, oftentimes on Xing Tian, I will actually just do the 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna have to peel potentially a little bit here for my Scylla. I'm just gonna get the emoji off of her. Keep my eyes, try to jump right into him. Try to see if I can't ulti the Thanatos away from them. Not gonna be able to. They've just got too many members of their team here. I thought we had a third person with us actually there in the mid lane, but I wonder if our Pele backed instead of coming to help us with the invade.
Enemy ultimate.
Thanatos currently ulting. Is it for me or is it for the Medusa? We're about to find out. It's for me! So I'm just gonna go ahead and leap right over that little Thanatos ultimate. You should be making sure right now to be going for those buff invades as often as humanly possible. How you get a lead right now in Smite is you grab a quick kill and you go take all of the enemy's jungle. The more you can invade the jungle, the better. Preferably that red and that blue is where a lot of the XP is going to come from. So back into the level order before I was so rudely interrupted. I like to level up the 1 first. You get a lot of damage out of this ability. Plus you get the auto attack damage reduction, which is often going to be not only good against the hunter, but often other people on the map as well. This game, like reducing Thanatos autos, not too shabby. Osiris, not too shabby as well. Then we level up the 2. The 2 is going to give us an increased root duration. So the knockup portion of this ability, the first part is always going to be the same amount of CC, but that second amount of CC, the root after they come down, can be increased. Then the leap, because on the leap, a lot of people don't remember this. You actually get protections on the Xing Tian leap, and those protections do actually increase as you rank up the ability. And bonus protections, obviously, on our support are good. Now, I'm going to jump in towards this red buff. I think Thanatos might be over here. His ultimate should still be down. I'm going to hit him with a little root combo right here. Wow, unfortunate. His ultimate is already back up. That must have just come back up. Pele is going very ham here in the back line for this Thanatos. I'm just going to dive in. I'm going to throw it right towards Scylla. Hit him with a little knockup follow-up, so we should be able to grab those kills underneath that tower. And maybe we can even go look at the buffs over and right now. Oof. Looking at the buffs and right at 1 HP was probably a little bit too aggressive there.
Humans are just so predictable.
I think he also has his
Be careful.
ultimate up. We haven't received any indication that he doesn't have his ult. Yep, so let's get out of there. After our reinforced greaves, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves. Excuse me, after our reinforced greaves, we're going to get ourselves a Gauntlet of Thieves. Pretty much standard support item. You always get Gauntlet of Thieves. Except for like really 2 situations. Really, it's 1 situation. If the enemy team is basically all 1 damage type, then instead of going the Gauntlet of Thieves, you can just grab like the Sovereignty, which is probably what it's going to end up being. When's the last time you saw a 4 magical team comp? You probably haven't in a very long time.
Enemy missing left.
But for physicals, not out of the question. We've actually seen that quite a bit in SPL as well, where there's 4 physicals because they're actually running a physical support character. So getting a first item Sovereignty for those quick, early, efficient Sov physical protections can be a very good idea. Now Thanatos, I've kind of heard him over in the jungle. Looks like he's not coming this way. We should be able to go ahead and kill this Osiris, no problem. I'm just gonna sit back here, make sure he doesn't ulti over the wall or anything. Gonna go in pretty aggressive here on Thanatos. Hit him with a little knock-up combination. Not gonna be able to get it off because I'm silenced. What we do, force the ultimate right away. Now, Thanatos might land right back in on this. He does. He goes for the Pele. That was a smart play right there. What we needed to do was stay grouped up. Not obviously right on top of each other because you don't want to get triple Thana ulted. But close enough that we could peel for each other. Instead right there, Thana kind of gets a free little pick onto the Pele who wandered off into the forest. Hello. Gotta back up, get myself that Gauntlet of Thieves, and of course making sure on every back I'm trying to get a nice Sentry award. At this point in the game, I'm basically just trying to lead my team into the red buff, into the blue buff, trying to be their front line as we go for these invades. Even if you are not necessarily winning the game, you still want to play with kind of that aggression, because if you don't, you'll just fall behind an XP so fast. I should be able to just kind of knock up this Yamoja. She's still kind of by herself. Hachi's over here. I'm going to do a little jump, try to get in front of our Scylla. I would prefer not to have to ulti this one Hachi, but I'm going to see if I can just force an ulti or a beach or something. That'll be a good beach force. If Scylla ulti hits him over the wall, he would probably die here, but he might bleed out between my one and the Medusa one. That is going to be enough. Fantastic. Our Scylla dies in the background, and we're not going to be able to catch up to kill the Merlin, but we can steal their purple buff while we are over here. Gotta make sure I grab myself this nice little wave and duo. Medusa's actually gonna leave me that purple, which is nice in the right play because ours is the enhanced. Reminder, you always want to split those purples out onto the map if you can.
Yes.
Have them on 2 different people if at all possible, because part of that purple buff is that you reduce nearby enemy guys' protection by 10. And that is a aura that stacks. So if I have purple and Medusa has purple, that's minus 20. Minus 20 armor to people that are around both of us, instead of just restacking back up the buff on one person. Always want to spread out that purple love. Of course, we wanted to give the enhanced to our Medusa because she's going to actually utilize that attack speed. Now I need to back up because I am quite low on my mana, but I want to get out this Sentry ward first if at all possible, so that way when I back, I can buy us another Sentry ward, because you only have room for 1 Sentry ward at a time in your inventory, but you can't have 2 out on the map at a time. Okay, further composition, physical. They got triple physical, double magical, and a decent amount of healing this game. I'm actually gonna get myself right into a Pestilence. The reason why I'm going to go Pestilence is because a lot of the rest of my build is going to involve like physical defense. I know that there's going to be a lot of physical defense items that are particularly good, so I'm just going to use the Pestilence for my anti-heal instead of the Contagion. Also, generically, I like the Pestilence more than I like the stats on Contagion. I find it to be a little bit more efficient if I have to go in aura anti-heal. Gotta peel back here for my Pele, make sure he doesn't get ulted on. Now it looks like Thanatos is going over to my team. I'm gonna start jumping over that way. Thanatos is about to blink right on that Medusa in the back and get that kill on him. It's probably too late to save him, but not too late to save my Scylla. Hopefully that bleed will be enough right there to kill this Merlin. I'm gonna keep him inside of my abilities. I'm gonna peel back for my Scylla and just kind of try to stand around with him. He got to the other side of the Yamoja. Oh, we force Yamoja beads. He should be able to live through that one, no problem. Now we can just go for the purple. So as a support, it can be kind of confusing, but your job is almost always going to be both initiation and peeling, which means you're going to have to start off by going into the fight, probably trying to focus on 1 or 2 targets, usually the enemy hunter or mage. You're going to want to get them to use a getaway skill, force an active. Maybe they don't have anything up, and so you just get to walk up and kind of YOLO get free kills. But in general, you want to start off the fight like that, usually with your blink, and then you're going to be immediately jumping back, looking for your own mage and hunter, and trying to peel for them. Your goal is basically to get some of those annoying things off of the enemy team so your assassin can go into the back line so your solo laner is there and can get those kills a little bit easier, and then of course keeping your own team alive. So for a standard combination here on Xing Tian, oftentimes I'm going to blink in and not necessarily go right for the ultimate. So it's not like a Gab where you're gonna blink ulti because it goes off super fast. The washing machine takes a little bit to get going, you know, it's gotta fill it with water first. So oftentimes when I blink on Xing Tian, I actually wanna blink 2 because your 2 immediately starts off into a knockup. And a knockup, once it started, you can't beat out of it. And a lot of times people will instinctually press that bead when they see the Xing Tian coming. So they might be beadsing it while they're in that knockup, and they are not going to get a lot of efficiency out of that one. My Medusa is absolutely ham right now, so I'm going to try to blink in and help him. In fact, I should be able to go for the blink 2 combo right here. Gonna go for the Merlin. That is Aegis down. Now I'm actually going to call for a retreat because I need to back up. Head myself over to mid lane and grab these last couple of Thieves stacks before I get myself out of here. Now we can get that Pestilence for my second relic this game. I'm gonna look at their composition. Looks like a Sunder is gonna do us good in this one. I'm also gonna rank up that Sunder immediately, and then I'm gonna go into my physical defense items, and I've got a good amount of options here right now. I could go a Sovereignty and embrace a little bit more aura action. What I'm actually going to do this game is I'm going to hold out for a second on my item, and I'm actually going to go into a Pridven. I'm a big fan of Pridven on supports. I think the CDR is fantastic. I think that getting that little bit of extra bonus slow CC can be really annoying for the enemy team to deal with. And I've always just kind of liked it on my supports. It really blends well with my playstyle. I think it's a strong item for that. It's also not that expensive. So I saw Thanatos around. Gonna try to help my backline. Gonna go for that little knockup. Bada bing, bada boom. Me and Kakalin at the same time. Now I'm gonna go for the ulti on the Osiris. We're gonna force his beads. That is fine. And I've got the Sunder at the ready for whatever target. He's gonna go ahead and ulti in, so I'm gonna go for the Sunder on him. Still trying to peel back for that Scylla. Nothing I can do at this point. She's in her ulti. She's running away. Let's get that Osiris off of our back line. Keep looking at our boys back here. We got 2 dead. I can start to push back forward. Throw down a sentry ward there at top right. They do have rewarded. My Kakulin wants to go back in. I would like to be a little bit more careful, if at all possible. And now we can go ahead and just back it up a little bit. So with the Xing Tian, you should know that his 3 is actually immunity framed. This is a leap, which means that while you're in the air, you do not take any damage in terms of like new abilities hitting you. So you can use it as like almost like a Chang'e 2 or so. And because you have 2 of them, you can actually use that twice. So a Wheelix can, of course, pull you out of your 3. So you need to be careful for something like that. But a lot of the times, like if I see an Osiris ult coming my way or a Thana ult like I did earlier, you can just jump in place like this. And while you're in that little animation, you are totally unhittable by new abilities, which is fantastic. One of the biggest strengths of Xing Tian is his ability to avoid those big damaging ultimates of like a raw ult coming for you or something. It's not even that hard. You hear the ability coming out, you hear the audio cue, just boop, little jump in place, and you're gonna be just fine and dandy. Now my team probably needs me over on the right hand side of the map right now. They are rotating over there. There is no gold Fury up, so I don't need to be worried about them trying to counter with a gold. Gonna blink myself over towards this Thanatos, but he is really fast. It looks like he's probably just going to be able to get away from this one, not going to be able to chase him down unless he tries to come back in. I'm going to keep the pressure on him, see if he goes for anything. He's going to be right here going for these back left camps. Hopefully he actually doesn't see that I'm here. And I should be able to continue my chase, hit him with a little follow-up. I'm actually going to go for the Sunder on the Merlin, not quite going to hit it. I see the Hachi is coming over for my Medusa, so I'm going to try to get in between me and him and try to get some peel out, grab the Emoja. I'm just going to throw her in the rock. I'm not going to throw her towards my Medusa, obviously, because my Medusa is very low. It needs the peel, so I'm actually going to throw her a little bit towards the rest of my team, away from the Medusa. This dive has gotten a little bit too ham over here for the Emoja, so we need to back ourselves right on out of this one. And I'm going to call for the attack, the Gold Fury. This is the Oni Fury, the most important one. This is the one that gives you those OP minions coming down all of your lanes. So for Xing Tian on our matchups, he is a setup god. You want to pair him with big damage follow-up. Medusa, not a bad pairing for him in the lane. A bunch of people get thrown at you. Medusa ult follow-up, they're looking right at it. Whammy kablammy. Scylla, absolutely fantastic. They all get grouped up. They all get rooted. They all get slapped by that Scylla ult. Great combinations here with the Xing Tian. You want that big damage AoE follow-up for the Xing Tian, because even something as simple as his knock-up root is plenty of time for follow-up off of. You don't have to be just using the ultimate for the setup. So you want to pair him with other big AoE damaging characters. As far as what's good against Xing Tian, cripples tend to be really annoying. Huge part of Xing Tian, like we talked about, is being able to utilize those double jumps. If you can't properly utilize those double jumps, Xing Tian has just a lot harder time. I'm going to go ahead and throw that Sunder down on the Emoja. I'm going to go for the ulti on the Emoja as well. Now the Emoja's off the board. I'm going to keep diving, keeping an eye on my mini-map. Nobody is on my back line right now, although I don't have eyes on Thanatos. There he is. Thanatos ultis from my back line. That is the one person that I was worried about because we did not have vision on him. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to catch up. I'm not going to be able to. And to be fair, we did dive too deep past towards the Phoenix line, but we are going to be able to grab at least the Merlin kill on the back side of this. But now I need to go back in, help my team, throw down the one on the Hachi. Not quite going to do it. I'm going to jump in front and try to body block here as much as I can. I don't have my root up quite yet. I'm going to go for the root right here. I actually might have just killed myself sticking around for a little bit too long. I'm going to try to bait him off from this left-hand side, but I'm actually going to jump back over towards the mid lane tower. But I do not believe that there is any escaping my fate on this one. Almost escaping my fate. Didn't spend our money on the last back because we wanted to make sure that we could grab our compassion here on the next back. Finally, we're going to be finishing up. We got to check their builds. Always make sure as a support that you're checking the builds to see if the enemy is building crit. This Hachi does have crit. Where there's a Wind Demon, there will soon be a Death Bringer, which means I will be grabbing that Spectral Armor for the anti-crit. So with this build, we're giving out quite a few auras for our team. We got the Thebes aura for some extra protection. We got ourselves the Pestilence for the anti-heal, which of course we need in this game because not only do they have a Yamoja, they also have the Thanatos self-sustain. We've got the Compassion, which is going to be taking some of that % damage away from them. And then we grab the Blink, of course, for our initiation. You're basically always going to have Blink on support. And also the Sunder. Sunder is one, good against tanky targets, like the Osiris, like the Yamoja, but also Yamoja provides shields for her teammates with her too, and Sunder burns through that shield immediately, which means it's also really good against gods like Nike. If you wonder why Nike isn't in the meta right now, it's not because she isn't good, it's because Sunder is a perfect counter to her ultimate. Now at this point, we need to get grouped up so we can look for a team fight. I don't want to invest too much into an Osiris unless the team is there for a little follow-up. I'd rather kind of save my abilities. Look for somebody like a Hachi. Thanatos is in the air. He's going to go immediately for my Pele, unfortunately. I will be in the range of the Thanatos. I'm going to throw him back towards my team. He actually uses beads. And they are doing a much better job of positioning themselves. So we called right there that the enemy ultimate was incoming. Our Pele went in for the Hachi anyway and gets picked off by the Thanatos. So right now we're just trying to back it up while simultaneously peeling for my team. Good try on that ulti over the wall, but now my Scylla's kind of put herself into an awkward spot. Should be able to hit them with a little knock-up root action right here. They're diving all the way around the back. I'm gonna hit that Thana with the Thunder just so the tower starts hitting it even harder. And this is actually not a horrible position for us to be in. I'm gonna go back pretty aggressive on this. We've got respawns here in 10 seconds. Scylla's at a respectable amount of HP. We got to make sure they don't get cheeky and try to do the fire giant or something. Gonna grab a little ward over there, just to have the vision for it. Got to keep going back to help out with my Scylla. There's the Osiris ultimate. Gonna throw down the one on him, so even if he's auto-attacking my Scylla right now, he's barely doing any damage. Little root combo. And now let's see if we can't grab a couple of people with our ultimate. I'm gonna wait for a little blink. Hopefully some of their actives are down. Come on, blink. There it is. I'm gonna be going for the Merlin. Unfortunately, not gonna be able to reach the Merlin because he's still got his flicker up. But we do force the Yamoja beads. Unfortunately, every single person on their team has beads this game. So we're getting a lot of beads forcing, but not a lot of throwing. This is actually not a bad situation for us. I'm gonna try to get the Merlin outside of the range of this fire giant so Scylla can just go for the secure. We need to make sure that we get this over here. I'm not gonna be able to save the Scylla right there, but we are gonna be able to grab ourselves a triple kill. And we secured the fire giant, which is fantastic. We should really quickly shove up right lane. You almost always want to shove right lane directly after you grab the fire giant.
I'll be gentle.
And that's because you actually don't want to shove this lane later. You want to shove preferably the dual lane in the mid lane in that order, which is why you always try to get that quick tier 2 tower down beforehand. Now, they don't have respawns for 10 seconds. We actually might be able to cheese this and get a full Phoenix. The Phoenix itself isn't actually that important compared to the other Phoenixes, but if we can grab it really early, that would be fantastic. It looks like we actually might be able to here. I'm gonna channel my ultimate and just try to get him off our boy. I'm gonna get that nice little proc. Osiris is already ulted. Might even be able to get a good fight off of this as well, from just going for one Phoenix to actually being able to do more. My HP 5 might be able to regen me up enough before the Thana comes this way. Thana is going to land on our Medusa. I'm gonna see if I can't keep this man in combat so he can't blink away. I've got my bleed on him, which is constantly putting him in combat, but he is really gonna be trying to blink. Colin got close enough though, and we should be able to just go attack mid lane after this. We really only wanted the T2, but because we had enough on the death timers, we were able to go even more. I gotta be careful that I don't get trapped actually in the Phoenix range while tanking it with the potential Yamoja ulti up. This is exactly what I was worried about. We still got 15 seconds on those respawns. We need to just be focusing at this point. The Phoenix, if we can grab this Phoenix and get out, this has been a massive win for the team. 2 Phoenixes down. We've still got the fire giant for a solid 2 minutes. Bada bing, bada boom. That's fantastic. Now we just got to go ahead and back it up. Group up and shove up that left lane. Got the spectral armor, got the blink. I'm gonna grab myself a red pot here at the end of the game. Just give myself a little bit of extra CDR. Now it's time to go shove down the left. Gold Fairy at this point isn't really that important, but oftentimes you want to grab the Gold Fury on the way to the actual objective just so the enemy team doesn't use it for a comeback mechanic. But I'm going to be positioning myself very far forward to see if I can't get a quick pick on somebody like that Merlin right there. That would have been a game changer if we could have gotten that, but that's all right. Presumably they walked out and warded outside of the door. They did. Thanatos is right here. I'm actually going to blink on the Thana. I'm going to go for a little knockup, and we might be able to put him down before he gets away. Not going to be able to, but we do force his ultimate, which has been giving us so much trouble. I'm going to jump right in here before he ever gets an opportunity to come back. I'm just going to try to force as many beads as I can. Hachi's going to get thrown back towards the team, and now I need to peel back for my back line, try to reset some of the aggro off of me. I'm going to go ahead and knock up this Osiris, hit him with the Sunder, so we should be able to burn through any of the protection that he has. And now I can tank the Phoenix for my team. They're going very aggressive in the Titan room, which is fine and dandy and all, but they need to be a little bit careful because we do have a potential game end right here as long as we don't all kind of get wrecked. We've got so many creep from the Titan. I'm actually going to go straight for the Titan. Just try to keep some of these damaged boys off and away from my Medusa and my Scylla, and we're going to be able to put it away. So, of course, on our supports, we're going for the initiations. A lot of times, you're not even going to be able to grab people with Xing Tian ult, but just because you're not grabbing them and throwing them towards your team doesn't mean it's not a useful ability. Because if I'm forcing 1, 2, 3 beads, 3 CC immune ultis, whatever, on every single ult, that's still a really, really good use of your ultimate ability. Like I said, a lot of the times we are going to go ahead and use the actual knockup as the more efficient CC ability, and that ultimate becomes that beads burner, guys. And that is your Xing Tian support guide. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.